Good morning, guys. It's Paula, and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be possibly my first of more get to know me, get ready with me's. I have seen lots of other YouTubers do this, and I think it's a great way to connect with you guys and to find out what it is that you want to know about me and to share a little bit about myself with you so that you see another side of me than just this. So I'm going to be putting on makeup, but I'm not really going to be talking about the makeup so much. If you have questions about that, you can leave them down below, but more of what I'm going to be talking about is just other things. I have already primed my face, and it's morning. It's 6 o'clock in the morning here. I just got out of the shower. I did my serums and my moisturizers, and I've primed. And I'm going to start with my kind of typical Monday through Friday, everyday makeup routine. While I prepare my little foundation cocktail that I've been working with lately, I'm going to just start blabbering. So I work. I'm a mom and I work kind of full-time. I work for a school system, one of the largest school systems in Illinois. I am an occupational therapist, which means a lot of different things, but in the school setting, it means I work with children who have disabilities to help them be as independent as they possibly can. So I'm working with teachers, I'm working with speech therapists, and I'm working with the kids, and we're all kind of working together to make the kid as independent as possible. One of our kind of mottos is that our job is to play with kids. So we use play as a therapeutic tool because that's how kids learn. They learn through play. So at school, what that boils down to is a lot of self-help, teaching them how to put their coats on, feed themselves, cut, color, write, all those little skills they need to be as independent and successful as possible in school. So it's a pretty good job. There are a lot of obstacles, of course, like in a lot of jobs. The biggest obstacle being the paperwork. Sometimes you feel like there's no time to do the job of playing with kids, which is the best part of the job because you have so much paperwork to do. But it has been good for me. It's been a good career. I've been doing it for almost 20 years and it has flown by. And there are days that are very rewarding. There are days that are not very rewarding too, but I'd say that's probably any job. So that's my day job. I work a typical school calendar year, which means I work a 7-hour day, plus I have about a 45-minute commute there and back. But I get a lot of holidays. I never have to go in on weekends. I can take summers off, which I have done since my kids have been born. And that's the best part of this job. That's what keeps me there. No other job offer would pull me away from the opportunity to have 10 weeks off in the summer with my kids. I love summer. I love warm weather. I love all the things that we can do in the summer, like go to Lake Michigan and go to the zoo. We like Brookfield Zoo, and go to our local pool and just swim and all those things, and just have those mornings where you're not racing to get to the time clock before you're late. Like, it's just the best. So that's why I do what I do. And I think it's why a lot of teachers choose that career, because they know they're gonna have kids, they're family people, but they don't want and they have to work or they wanna work, but they don't want their jobs to take away from their family. All right, so that's the base. maybe a little bit light, but it'll look great when I add that cream bronzer in. But first I'm going to conceal my eyes with a combination of these two. So that is my real job. And there might be 3 people in my real life that know about this little hobby I have going on. I would say most of the people in my life do not know about this, including a lot of my family. Like, I just don't talk about it. A lot of my family isn't into social media or YouTube, and I don't have any sisters. I have brothers, 2 of them. So they wouldn't be interested in watching me put on makeup anyways. But I think I have like 3 friends that know about this and like 0 coworkers. Because I'm an occupational therapist, I don't work at one school. Like, a teacher goes to the same building every day and sees the same people every day, but an occupational therapist, at least at my location, where for the system that I work with, you have to travel to get a full-time job because no one school has enough work for you. So I go to 5 schools a week, which means I have a lot of coworkers, and I know a lot of people, but I don't know any of them really well. I don't form those super close bonds that a teacher might form when they're working at one school day in and day out. It's good because I kind of get to stay out of the drama and the politics that can develop in a school building, but it also is bad because I never get really close with anybody. Like, I see so many best friends that work together at schools. Like, they're really close. And I have friends, I have people that I really care about, but I think I would be a lot closer with them if I saw them 5 days a week. Or maybe we'd hate each other, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna grab my little cream contour. I officially hit pan on the lightest shade yesterday, right there. Nice. This is in my Oldies But Goodies project pan. I know nobody uses their fingers to do this stuff, but I honestly can't be bothered with anything else. Like, honestly, I have to leave for work in like 45 minutes, so I don't have time for funny business. It works. I don't know. I think sometimes the fingers are the easiest way to put makeup on. So I have a husband. I have 2 kids. My oldest child is a boy named Ron. I think a lot of you guys have seen him pop into my videos. He's a little ham, and he's 5, and he goes to 4-year-old preschool because his birthday's in September. So he's the kid that's always gonna be the oldest in the class. And then I have a 3-year-old daughter named Hazel. She's popped into some of my videos, but a lot of times I try to film while she's sleeping because she's loud and you can't ask her to be quiet. She's not gonna be quiet. So she's not in as many of my videos, making little appearances. Ron can sit right over here on the couch and chill, but Hazel can't. Hazel also has developed an interest in makeup, which means that while she sees me putting on makeup, she wants to see it all and swatch it all. And so I'd rather just do it when she's still asleep so she doesn't see this and want to touch it all. So last Wednesday, I got a call from the sitters. My kids go to a sitter 4 days a week while I'm at work. She's very good. She takes really good care of the kids. And she text messages me at like 1 o'clock and says, Ron's throwing up. How soon can you get here? And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. I'm in the middle of work. It's hard. It's not like I could just pick up and go. Plus, I was an hour away. So, meanwhile, I'm thinking, could he have the stomach flu? Like, I haven't heard about it going around much, but, you know, I mean, it's winter. Anything can be happening. This is the last little bit of that stupid What's Up highlighter. It's almost gone. So I pick him up and he was done throwing up. He only threw up once and then he just came home and slept. But she had a ton of kids at her house that day. It was a half day for our local school system and she had like 8 kids in her house that she was caring for. So I get that you don't want a puker in your house when you got 8 other kids there. It's not good for business. So I picked him up and I brought him home and then I just waited because I thought, you know, tomorrow I'll be throwing up and the day after that Hazel will be throwing up and it's just gonna go down the line. And like 3 days passed and everybody was fine and I actually started to convince myself that like maybe he had just ate something that made his stomach feel sour or I don't know, like anything besides the stomach flu was the reason that he got sick. And then Saturday night, I got it. Middle of the night, sick as a dog. Sunday night, my husband got it. Middle of the night, sick as a dog. And then I got a text message at 1 o'clock in the morning today, last night, and my babysitter got it. So I don't even know what's going on today. Like, I'm gonna grab a little bit of concealer and go under my nose. I have no idea what today is going to bring because both my kids are in preschools. Hazel goes, and neither one of them go at the same time and they don't go to the same school. Ron goes in the morning at our church and Hazel goes in the afternoon at our local public school. So, I don't know who's gonna watch my kids today. I don't know if I'm gonna go to work or if I'm gonna have to take the day off. I don't know if my kids are gonna make it to preschool or not today or if they're just gonna have to miss a day. But my alarm clock went off. I decided to get up and do what I do. We're moving along to cream blush. I'm using my Becca. All right, so that's me in a nutshell. The majority of my life is working 5 days a week and then being a mom. So as much as I would love to get into like some really fun makeup and like avant-garde stuff, I'm way too tired to play with makeup at night. And I've said that before. Like, there's no like washing my day face of makeup off and then starting to like play. It's not happening. Whatever I put on my face at 6 o'clock in the morning is what it's gonna be for that day. And maybe on the weekends or for holidays, I might get a little bit more fancy. There might be a little bit more glitter. It might get a little bit smokier, but I'm not going out at night really ever. And I'm not like, I see some of my friends on Instagram and YouTube do some really fabulous looks, but I just think like, you know, it's probably not gonna happen for me. The look that I'm going for is a look that I can go to my community, go to my job, go to a school, and just feel like I look like the best version of me. That's what makeup is for me, just getting to look like the best version of myself. And I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna set my face down. I've been testing out this photochromatic pressed powder from Color Max. I used it for the first time yesterday and I wasn't disappointed. So I used 2 brushes, a small brush to set my under eyes and a slightly larger brush to set like most of my face. So I decided yesterday to kind of impulsively do one of those like ask me a question things on Instagram in the Insta stories, which I've never done before. And I thought, you know, I probably shouldn't do this the night before. Like, I'm not gonna get hardly any responses. And maybe I should do this like on a Saturday when people are off of work and I get more views so that I get some questions, and then do this on Sunday. But man, you guys came through. You guys came through. You guys actually came through so much that I have enough questions for more than one video. This is only part 1. But let's get into some of your questions. Okay. So since we're getting to know like the basics of me, this is my first get to know me, get ready with me. I have an itch right here. I always have an itch right there. Like there's a hair stuck there, but I can never see it. Oh, it drives My good panning friend, Erin's Empties, that's her name on Instagram, not her real name. Her real name is just Erin, asked me, how did I meet my hubby? And I think that is such an interesting question because I think that's the question we all want to know, like when we meet, like as we get to know somebody, either through any form of social media, we always want to know, like, well, how did you meet your husband? It's always a good question, I think. So, long story short, I met my husband on Match.com. I have no idea if that's how people are meeting in 2018, 19. I don't know how people are meeting now, but that's how I met my husband in 2010. I was previously married, and it was not a great marriage. It wasn't the best. It was a really good first attempt at being married, but it wasn't a good one. And I had been married for 7 years. And in those 7 years, I had gotten older. I was 24 when I got engaged the first time, 25 when I got married, and 32 when I got divorced. And a lot had changed. Most importantly, my entire social circle had settled down with their families and started having kids of their own. And so my entire like social life had disappeared. And that was how I met my first husband, through friends. And so I really didn't know where to start when I was single again for the first time, because none of my friends were like, hey, let's go out and go dancing. Let's go out to the bar. Let's go out and, or like all of their friends' friends had also gotten married and started having kids. Like that set's pretty matte. It's a pretty good mattifying powder. So I was kind of at a loss when I got divorced, but I was definitely ready to start dating. Our marriage had gone south years before we actually were divorced. So there was no need to like bounce back. There was no mourning period. There was really no need to like go through some emotional shift, because I'd kind of done that during the marriage before it officially ended. So I was ready to date. I was ready to have a meaningful connection with somebody. I was ready to have a partner. I was ready for everything that a committed relationship offers. And I really didn't need any time to be single, because I had honestly felt like I had been single for a long time, even though I was technically still married. So since all my friends were home with their little babies and I was kind of on my own, I hopped on Match and I went on a bunch of dates, an absolute bunch, and I had a ton of fun, but none of them were really going anywhere. I ate at Applebee's a ridiculous amount of time. Every first date, the guy was like, you want to go to Applebee's? And I was like, why does every guy want Applebee's? I don't know. What's up with Applebee's? I don't really like them. But every first date was at Applebee's. And I finally met one, my husband, Will. And he's a really sweet guy. He's an introvert, which in a lot of ways I am. I'm a lot more extroverted than he is, but I still like to be home. Oh, it's Will. Anyways, we both like to be at home, and we both like to just hang out. That's like our favorite thing, is to hang out. So that's what we do, and that's why we get along so well. We also have similar beliefs in a lot of things. We agree on things a lot. It just comes naturally, so it works well. So yeah, we hit it off right away, and that was it. We pretty much have never left each other's side since then. We got married in 2012 in October, and I was pregnant by December. So we were in our 30s though, so it seemed appropriate. We were ready. We had done the single thing. We'd done the non-kids thing for a long time. If we were gonna have kids, it was time to have kids, so that's what we did. All right, this is a little highlighter brush from my Sleek Solstice palette. I'm gonna use that. Just grab the eyeshadow in my Pan That palette. Boy, this is really bad. Everybody's waking up. So, all of a sudden, my husband came down. He wanted to go to work early. My son woke up. He's over here watching Spider-Man. There was like a 15-minute detour of makeup putting ons. But we're going to get back to questions. So, yes, met Will on Match.com. The rest is history. So, that leads into a question that was asked by my friend Kathy. Her name is Shades of Cat on Instagram. And she asked, what does my hubby think about my makeup spending? Does he know and does he care? He does know. He absolutely knows. I am not secretive about it at all. I pay for it all with the money that I make from my job. So it does not impact him really in any way. We have our own expenses for the household. We have our own personal expenses. So it kind of allows us to choose how we want to spend our discretionary funds however we want. And it's really the only thing I spend money on. I do not spend money on clothes, shoes, jewelry. We don't go out to eat very often. I don't go out with the girls very often. The only money I spend is on makeup, skincare, nail polish, beauty. And so even though I spend a lot on that stuff, it's all I spend my money on. Also, because we met in our 30s, a lot of this he walked into. I might not have had the collection that I have now. I definitely did not have the collection that I have now. And I was not on Instagram or YouTube when we met. But the love of makeup was definitely there when we met. So I'd like to think that he knew what he was getting himself into. Does he care? My husband only has talked about my makeup once. And it was when somebody, I can't remember if it was a family member or a friend, said something like, are you gonna get her some makeup for Christmas? And he said, she has enough makeup. And that's all he's ever said about it, ever. Now, he has shown what he thinks about my makeup collection in a few different ways that speak volumes. For example, he has never, ever, ever, even once bought me makeup. Ever. And part of that's due to the fact that he doesn't know a lipstick from his butthole. So he would not feel comfortable buying me makeup. But he could get me a gift card. He could snoop around. He could ask a friend to help. He has opportunities to buy me makeup, and he still has never bought me makeup. Ever. And I think that's his silent little protest of saying, no, no. At least that's the way I interpret that. But, you know, he doesn't have to understand it. Sometimes I don't even understand it. I certainly don't expect him to understand it. This year, I found out about an app called Elfster. And it's basically where you could connect with people that you know and post your wish list. So I'm trying that. So I put some makeup on Elfster and sent him a friend request, and he accepted it. And if I still do not get makeup for Christmas, I think that's gonna be it. I think I'm gonna give up on trying to get my husband to buy me makeup because I'm not sure what else I can do. Bad to the Bronze from Maybelline. Right here is gonna go all over my eyelid. While I'm doing that, I was asked how many and what animals do I have. I have 2 animals, neither of which I consider are really my animals. They're more my husband's animals. Ugh. We have a cat named Doggy, and he was my husband's cat when I met him. My husband was a bachelor who lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and he had a cat. And he loves that stupid cat. This is my first time ever having a cat, and here's what I've learned. I do not like cats that have claws, and I do not like long-haired cats. And this cat has claws and long hair, and I do not like litter boxes. I appreciate the self-sufficiency of cats. I really do, and they are beautiful animals. But this cat is kind of a dick. He is. He will come to you and meow and beg you to pet him. But if you pet him the wrong way, he'll bite you and claw at you with his claws. His hair gets matted up really easily, but he doesn't want you to brush him. Only in one spot, like right here around his neck. That's the only spot he'll voluntarily let you brush him. The rest is like a fight. And we also have a dog, ironically named Kitty. That's my husband's sense of humor really showing out. So yes, we have a cat named Doggy and a dog named Kitty. Kitty is a pit bull. She's sitting right there. You see her right there? Oh, she heard me talking about her. That's Kitty. Hi. Yes. Did you hear your name? I don't think I can show you out here. Let me see if I can tip you down. Oh. Hi, Kitty. Hi. Oh, don't lick my face. She's a licker. Ugh. It's the grossest. Oh no, she's licking me. Don't lick. I'm gonna smell like you all day. I know I called your name and that's confusing, but you gotta get down. Prior to having Kitty, I had little puggies. 2 little puggies. They were the best dogs. They are my kind of pet. I could always see myself having a pug. Pit bulls are great dogs. They need love too. I am just not a pit bull person. At all. It's not my thing. But my husband surprised me with her. Never surprise somebody with a pit bull, okay? Choosing a dog is a very personal choice. You can't just gift somebody a dog. It's just not right. But we have her and she's ours now. I'm gonna go in with my little red shadow. So at one point, little fun fact, I had 3 dogs, the 2 pugs and a Westie. I had 3 rabbits, Spanky, Chance, and Mimi. And I had Will's cat in this house. So there was at one point 7 animals under this roof, and it was way too much. I would have nightmares about the rabbits getting lost in the basement, and I don't know. I think my brain was telling me that I was overwhelmed, and unfortunately a lot of them just passed away. So as relieved as I am to not have 7 animals anymore, I'm sad that they're gone. They were all good animals, especially my little puggies. They were my babies. It's funny because before I had kids, and I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, but before I had kids, I was such a dog person that I would say things like, I can't imagine myself ever not having a dog. Like, they're just such an important part of my life. You gotta have a dog. And now that I have 2 kids, I don't think I need pets in my life anymore. It's funny how it changes you. I'm gonna go in with the bronzy shade from my Pan That palette all over my eyelid. So yeah, things change. But maybe if I could get a pug again, I'd feel all the warm tinglies for my babies again. I'm just a pug person. Can you hear Spider-Man? My good friend Project Pan asked, what is my favorite makeup item and what is my favorite makeup item to pan? And the answer is the same for both. Eyeshadow. There's no doubt. I absolutely love eyeshadow. It is my favorite thing to put on as part of my makeup routine. It's my favorite way to kind of express myself. If I'm going to play with color, it's most likely going to be through eyeshadow. And I do think that my eyes are probably my best feature on my face, so yeah, I want to play them up as best as I can so that people don't see all the things about my face that I don't like. Oh, I gotta focus here. And yeah, as far as panning, the same answer, eyeshadow. I just love panning eyeshadow. If I could go through lip products faster, I think I would say lip products. But man, it takes me so long to get through lip products that by the time I'm working on them, it's just frustrating. And I really have trouble committing to one lip product long enough to finish it because I just never see any progress. At least with eyeshadow, you can see yourself getting that dip, hitting pan, getting through it. I feel like I'm never gonna finish. I don't think I've finished a single lipstick this year. I've finished a whole quad of eyeshadows this year. What's up? And then I have, every time I say that, somebody's like, oh man, I fly through lipsticks. And I'm like, I'm bitter and jealous. All right, I'm gonna set my face. Oh, you know what? There's a couple things I wanna do to my eyes first. I forgot. I didn't do an inner corner highlight. I didn't do my little moon dust topper. I'm gonna grab Spectre and put that on my inner third. And then I'm gonna grab the lilac shade from my Solstice palette and put that on my inner corner. That brought a lot of pink and lightness back into this look, and I like it. I'm not mad about it. Okay, now I'm gonna set my face. It does smell like a dreamsicle. Eyeshadow Junkie at Heart asked, what is the first eyeshadow palette I ever purchased? I don't know if I know the answer to that. I don't know. I remember the first couple of eyeshadow palettes I ever received were hand-me-downs or like prizes from fundraisers. I might still have one of those. This is gonna be tricky. I don't think I'm gonna do this on camera because I don't want to gross you guys out. Okay, I'm gonna line my upper lashes with this Color Max liquid liner. So yeah, I definitely remember like one of the earliest eyeshadow palettes. Like honestly, this is one of the earliest eyeshadow palettes I think I ever bought. Like after watching YouTube videos, I remember I kept seeing a lot of the YouTubers I was watching were doing eye looks with Coastal Scents like 88 palettes and NYX. And even though there was an Ulta near me, I had never been inside an Ulta before. Probably never a Sephora either. Most of my makeup was bought at the drugstore. And I couldn't figure out where everybody was getting this NYX from. Of course, now you can get NYX at Target, but back then you couldn't. So yeah, I remember thinking, where do I get all this NYX and Coastal Scents from? Well, I don't think I've still ever placed a Coastal Scents purchase, but I have lots of NYX now. And then of course I ended up getting the Urban Decay Naked palette. So yeah, basically I was already hooked on YouTube and makeup even like a few years before the release of the Naked palette. So I know so many people, I've heard so many people say that their first palette was the Urban Decay Naked palette, and that like looking for tutorials on how to use it was what got them hooked on YouTube. But I was already on the scene even before that. This is my first time trying to do a little baby wing, which is pretty much all you'll ever see from me is a baby wing with this eyeliner. I feel like this one is perfect and this one is not, but this one's bigger. Do I try to make them symmetrical or do I just cut my losses? Ugh, decisions. And my eye's starting to water. I'm gonna cut my losses. Not bad for my first attempt using a wing with this eyeliner. And I did wear this yesterday for the first time, just lining my lids, nothing fancy. And I thought it did a good job of just staying put all day. Like it didn't disappear, it didn't flake away. All right, I'm just gonna let it go. It's a little uneven, but who cares? I do remember all the excitement around the Urban Decay palette, and it was sold out. I mean, they couldn't keep it in stock. They would have the stores full of them and they'd be gone. They'd have the stores full of them, they'd be gone. Like, it was crazy to see. I think I didn't get my Urban Decay palette until like the 3rd round of it being released, because it just sold out immediately. And then the Lorac Pro 1, you could basically do all the color of your face with that thing. People were using that taupe shade as a contour, and it was just great. I really kind of sneak back to those old YouTube videos sometimes and watch them again, because they were just so magical. I'm gonna use my Color Max waterproof mascara. I tried it yesterday for the first time. I used it on my upper and lower lashes, and I was really just looking to see how it would hold up throughout the day, if it would flake, if it transferred on my lower lash line, if I looked like a panda, and it held up really nicely. It was a little tricky to get off at night. It really wanted to stay on my lashes, but I've been using that sample of the Clinique Take the Day Off, and that got most of it off. But I'd rather have it too hard to get off than giving me panda eyes by 10 o'clock in the morning, for sure. I mentioned that I ordered that Rodan & Fields Lash Boosting Serum yesterday in my second part of What the Haul, and it showed up at my door last night. So I actually started using it last night. So I took some photos to kind of get like a baseline, and I just have to put that on every night. So we'll see if I can get some long lashes. All right, I really like that eyeliner and mascara so far. Today's only day 2. I'm gonna have a kind of complete video this weekend coming on the whole Color Max experience, but I'm also gonna put on their lip products so that you could see those in action. Leaky eyes, leaky nose. And so, yeah, I'm gonna apply the lip liner and then the the lip liner in Light Espresso and the Diva Glamour Matte Lip Color in Monaco on top of that. That's pretty symmetrical. Isn't that a great color? Oh, I just love that color. It is perfect. This is a really nice fall red, like an orangey, brownie red. And I wouldn't say it's the longest lasting, but it wears off nice and evenly, and you could just reapply it. It's not a big deal. I also tend to apply it on top of a little bit of Ulta lip oil, which may cause it to break down a little faster. But at this time of year, I just need to keep my lips really conditioned. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, I still need to do something with my hair. I still need to figure out what I'm gonna do today, if I'm going to work or if I'm staying home, if my kids are gonna go to school. I have no idea. Spider-Man. I have no idea what's going on today. So I have to figure all that out right now, and I have to do my hair. Maybe I'll go do my hair right now and come right back to show you the finished look. This is the finished look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun answering your questions. And I can't believe in less than 24 hours, so many of you came through with so many questions. Thank you so much. I will definitely be doing this again in the future. It was a ton of fun. Hopefully I will get a little bit better at talking while putting on makeup. It is harder than it seems. But yeah, this is the finished look. It's kind of been my go-to look during the month of December, and I really like it. And it uses a ton of Project Pan items. Okay, buddy, I'll come. And it uses a ton of Project Pan items, which is always good. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.